Hello film buffs and cinephiles alike, former film student back today with another video. Sorry for the lack of content lately, I've been pouring a lot of energy into another project that you guys will hear about very soon and I'm very excited to divulge. But I figured I haven't done a recommendation video in a little bit. If you guys don't know, these are my favorite videos to make, as I love recommending a specific type of film for people to check out, and if you guys end up watching any of the films I mentioned in this video, please do reach out and let me know. It would really brighten my day. The theme of today's recommendations are feel-good flicks, the movies you throw on when you're really down in the dumps or just feeling off. These are films that are sure to put a smile on your face and add a little sunshine on a cloudy day. Everyone has their bad days where they just want to hide under the covers and not come out, and I'm no exception to that. I haven't really talked about mental health on this channel before, but I myself am no stranger to anxiety and depression. It's something that's affected my life for several years at this point, and I understand how hard it can be to deal with. I first realized I suffered from anxiety and depression in college, which is actually where a lot of people discover mental health issues. It took about a year of suffering in silence and then experiencing my first real panic attack to prompt me to reach out and seek professional help. I was of the mindset that simply talking to someone couldn't fix any problems or help solve my issues, but I was more than surprised when actually talking to a licensed therapist was genuinely helping me. Just the simple aspect of talking to someone in a safe environment with no judgment and specifically talking to someone who had the knowledge and tools to help me not only improve my mental health, but to understand it better. Talking to this professional was the best decision I could have made and genuinely made my life better even during days when it seemed like everything was bleak and joyless. And of course, while therapy has been incredibly helpful for me, I know that taking that first step can be daunting. That's where BetterHelp, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, you go to their site, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you to a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/formerfilmstudent or choose former film student during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Mental health is a serious topic, so thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video and making the decision to get help easier than it's ever been. With that out of the way, let's get into today's recommendations. Some of these you may have heard of, some maybe not, but all are sure to turn that frown upside down and add a little joy to your day. The first film I want to recommend for many reasons, but most of all because it never fails to make me smile, is actually the film that got me into wanting to be a filmmaker. That is, of course, Frank Darabont's 1994 masterpiece, The Shawshank Redemption. Now, while this film may have some darker elements and more unsettling scenes sprinkled throughout, there's no denying that the main theme of the film is hope. Not only is it an incredibly well-made film that's seen by many as one of the best films ever made, but it's one that even as a young, edgy teenager managed to turn me into a pile of tears as the credits began rolling. This isn't a feel-good film in the sense that it's all sunshine and rainbows throughout the entire runtime, but it is a feel-good film in the sense that it inspires you to really look at your life and, in the words of the film's main character, get busy living or get busy dying. The story of a man convicted of a heinous crime finding salvation and being reborn inside the concrete walls of prison never fails to fill me with hope and inspiration. My next recommendation is leaving the landscape of live-action films and heading to the world of stop-motion animation with Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox, a thoroughly entertaining film that, despite being animated, is a great sentimental story that can be enjoyed by both children and adults. This film is feel-good not only in the excellent story about an adult fox struggling with who he thinks he is and who he wants to be, but it brings along the quirky and whimsical vibe that Wes Anderson has become famous for. The story tackles some adult themes, but never steers too far away from being a funny and joy-filled flick that never fails to put a smile on my face. Whether it's the hilarious little gags that are sprinkled throughout, or the warm and cozy classic feel you get from watching stop-motion animation that takes me back to the days of Wallace and Gromit or Chicken Run, Fantastic Mr. Fox is a film that I think could make even the meanest of men smile and laugh. Bringing things back to live action, one of my favorite Jim Carrey films and one that never fails to make me smile from ear to ear with tears of joy streaming down my face, I'm talking of course about Peter Weir's The Truman Show, a film focusing on a character slowly realizing and coming to terms with the fact that his entire life is a scripted television show. It's filled with some serious and dramatic moments that do often spiral into bits of comedy. However, despite some of the more serious elements, The Truman Show ultimately is a film about choosing your own destiny, becoming whoever you want to be, and not letting anyone else dictate your life. It has great scenes full of hilarious writing, but when it gets to the more emotional bits, it really knows how to deliver, whether that be Jim Carrey's wonderful performance as Truman or the excellent musical score that accompanies several scenes. There's one thing I know for sure: the final scene of this movie will have you fist pumping and cheering with joy as, like me, happy tears stream down your face. Maybe a weird pick for some folks, but my next recommendation is Punch Drunk Love. Now this is for any Adam Sandler fans out there, but I will give you a warning. Paul Thomas Anderson's romantic comedy featuring the Sandman himself is not your typical Adam Sandler romp filled with poop and fart jokes. Instead, it's a much more subtle and heartfelt film that, better than any other film I've seen in the genre, manages to showcase the true power of love. Love is inherently a very scary and daunting emotion, but between Sandler's powerhouse performance and Paul Thomas Anderson's incredible direction, Punch Drunk Love manages to convey how strong and powerful true love can make you feel. If it sounds cheesy, I completely understand your sentiment, but this is just one you have to see to believe, as despite some dialogue and moments being overly dramatic and really stylistic, none of it ever comes across as cheap or cheesy. It all works together and creates a really great, serene, and beautiful experience that somehow makes the idea of love just a little bit less scary. The final recommendation for today of films meant to make you smile is from Taika Waititi. Now easy there, let's all remember that before Thor: Love and Thunder, Taika was very sought out and highly regarded. Also, the guy made one bad flick, so let's stop with the claims that he's a bad director. But in terms of feel-good flicks, there's few as thoroughly funny and charming as his 2016 coming-of-age comedy, Hunt for the Wilder People. The story of a troubled youth being adopted by an older couple in New Zealand spirals out of control when the wife passes away, leaving a disgruntled and bitter Sam Neill to chase after the young boy after he runs away deep into the forest. The film is filled with laughs and hilarious bits, but similar to other films on the list, manages to nail the more heartfelt scenes. It's a really well done comedy drama that emphasizes how important just one person showing they care about you can make a world of difference. The film's two leads, Sam Neill and Julian Dennison, whom you may recognize from Deadpool 2, have amazing on-screen chemistry and work really well together. Whether it's a scene requiring them to be funny or dramatic and serious, it all works. If you're someone who hates Taika because of Thor: Love and Thunder, I recommend revisiting his earlier work to remind you that he is a very talented director. Well, that's it for today's recommendations, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you do decide to check any of these out, come back after and let me know what you think. And hey, let me know in the comments, what are your guys' feel-good movies? The ones you can throw on anytime and they brighten your day. But other than that, make sure to click the like button, subscribe if you want to hear more from me, and hit the bell notification button so you get notified when I post new content, and stay tuned for some exciting news in the next coming days. But as always, I will see you guys on the next video.